hearing as a result of that break. Rebecca Brooks will also be giving evidence. Until last week, the Chief Executive of News International, she readily accepted when she was given the opportunity to attend. Initially, James and Rupert Murdoch had said that they wouldn't attend for varying reasons. They subsequently changed that view, and we can see that this man has been detained by the police. His white foam on his face, white foam on his check shirt as well. Adam, up until this incident, how do you think it was going?
Well, it was obviously a very long session. Rupert Murdoch, I think, conceded that whatever people may think of him as the great puppet master, that really there was quite a lot in the business that he was not across, that things were going on without him knowing. He made the point that the News of the World was 1% of his business. He stood very strongly behind Les Hinton, who resigned on Friday, and behind Rebecca Brooks, saying he didn't believe that they would lie. He trusted them. He'd trust Les Hinton with his life. And again, the message from James Murdoch was that as soon as they became aware of the extent of the hacking, which he said came about as a result of the settlement or the attempt to settle civil suits, they have taken the appropriate action. So they're saying, yes, we were in charge, yes, ultimately we've got to take responsibility, but they're saying, no, we didn't know, we weren't behind this. Rupert Murdoch saying newspapers should campaign, but they should never break the law, and a number of you know, quite the sort of things that we heard that he said to the Dowler family, how this was what he described as the most humble day of his life, and how he talked about his father and his father trying to leave him a small newspaper so he could do good. So, I mean, I don't think there was any doubt that he was communicating that he realises that something has gone very badly wrong and he's responsible for that. Of course, that won't satisfy all his critics by any means.
Just getting updates as I'm chatting to you, Adam. Apparently the committee meeting, when it does reconvene, there'll be no press, there'll be no public, and it's not yet been confirmed whether or not television cameras will be able to monitor what's happening within the Wilson Room at Portcullis House. This is why, just a few moments ago, Joey, talk us through what happened.
Well, it was Louise Mensch who was just beginning her evidence. She was the last individual to be giving questions. Are we able to play it again? You can see we've zoomed it right in now, and there is Wendy Deng getting stuck into the man who aimed a custard pie, apparently a foam pie, at her husband. Just reading through some of the tweets from people who were in there. Paul Waugh says that Wendy Deng laughed as she relished getting her retaliation in, but he says, and he was in the room, that Rupert Murdoch looks very, very unhappy, and the News International lawyers were complaining to the police in the room. I guess that is not entirely surprising, given what had happened there. Yes, apparently, I mean, you can see she got stuck straight in, and she was a lot quicker than either the security who was with Rupert and James Murdoch, or indeed the police, who only moved into shot just now.
I just want to bring in Mark White. Mark, how does security work in these circumstances?
Well, I mean, they're there in the room. You can see, I mean, they're not too far away. What they don't want to do is to be seen to be absolutely crowding key witnesses who are giving evidence. So it is a bit of a compromise. But there is a question to be asked about whether they should have been perhaps nearer members of the public, with a view to responding a bit more quickly. As we saw, it was obviously Rupert Murdoch's wife who intervened first of all. And actually
sitting next to Rupert Murdoch's wife's companion, managed to get the book in place to protect his face.
Yeah, and I mean, it's ironically, this is of course an issue for the Metropolitan Police, and something that the Metropolitan Police Commissioner would be speaking on. He's still in place, and in place for a little while yet, until they make arrangements as to who will replace him, either on a temporary basis until they get the permanent commissioner.
Just being told this chap is apparently being named as Johnny Marbles, who's a comedian. Shouldn't imagine he's laughing too much just at the moment as he's led off by the officers of the law.
Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it does raise, the comic aspect of it. Aside from his point of view, what he sees as a comic aspect of it, it does raise once again some serious questions about the security within all of these areas within the Houses of Parliament and the other common areas. Because at the end of the day, what you don't want to do is close down democracy. You don't want to close members of the public off from key events like this. You want to let them in, and as Adam was saying before, there are some fairly stringent security checks in terms of going through metal detectors, etc., to make sure you don't have the kind of weapons that could do some serious harm. But as we've seen before, these don't take account of the fact that people can smuggle paint down their trousers and foam or whatever else. They don't set off metal detectors. Some people might argue they're not lethal weapons, but paint isn't. But you never know. There are lots of other kinds of noxious substances that could be taken in. So this will be reviewed. We've had numerous of these reviews after previous breaches within the Houses of Parliament and associated areas, and I'm sure it will be something that the Met will be looking at very closely now.
Yeah, Joey?
It's ironic.
They're back. Okay.
Okay, yeah, let's listen.
For a long time.